Are you ready for your headliner tonight, ladies and gentlemen? You've seen him on Amazon. His Dry Bar specials had millions of views. Sirius XM. Give it up for the man you came to see, Steve Soelberg! Oh, hey, how are you guys? You guys look great. Look at you people. Thanks for coming. Thanks for. Are you living a merry? What's that? You got a dope shirt. Oh, thank you. This is my. I'm a big Van Gogh fan. And but I also love Frozen, I guess. It's a mix. Huge fan. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that. What am I a huge fan of? Do you guys have that problem in your life? You're not really a fan of many things? Like when people ask you, none of you have this issue. When people, maybe some of you do. Give it up if you don't care about sports. Oh, more than I thought. Wow. What a real moment we just shared. Did you ever tell anybody? It's been a secret, hasn't it? Until right now. I didn't even know this is how the show would start. Because it's weird when you don't care about sports, because then the rest of the world, especially if you're like, it seems stupid to say this in 2023, but especially if you're male, because they'll be like, you don't care about sports? And you're like, yeah, they're like, where are you from? And you're like, I'm from Seattle. I grew up in Seattle. I live here. Like jazz? No, I don't. Sure. They're great. I love jazz, basketball, and music. I don't know. So weird. People just don't relate. When you don't care about sports, they're like, you're not normal. You're like, no, I mean, I love snacks. And that's a big part of sports for me. Baseball, I'm having a hot dog. Football, wings. I got that plan. That's as far as I go. And then you feel stupid. Like, I know the rules. I know the rules of the sports. Because I don't want to be like that guy, where I'm like, tell me what's happening. But truthfully, if I don't know what's happening, I'm not gonna ever admit that. I'm just gonna keep that a secret. Just be like, I don't know what's happening. I like hiking. Does anybody like hiking? Yeah, it's fun, right? It's fun to just get out here. Yeah, if you live in Utah, you have to like it. If you live in Utah, you're gonna run into other hikers. And that's always an interesting moment, because my favorite, there's like 10 to 15 seconds when you're passing someone on a trail and you get to enter their conversation and they get to enter yours. And that's an opportunity to say something that they're going to think about the rest of their hike. That's what I always try to do. Make them do that. Just say something that's so weird. Just be like, and that's when I told Joe Rogan, if you take horse tranquilizer, you can delay orgasm. And I'm like, what did he just say? I don't know if I caught that. If they're kids, you say, and that's when I pulled the sword from the stone, and they said, you're our king. And I said, I can't, I got lunch. And they're like, what? That's not as fun. Are you into the holidays? Are you Christmas people? Yeah. And some of you stayed quiet, which is appropriate. Because there's mixed rules on Christmas, right? Like, we set up rules around the holidays, specifically with the music. We say the music is allowed after Thanksgiving. That's the rule, and you keep it. Yeah. What if anybody doesn't keep the after Thanksgiving rule? Yeah, some of you do whatever, right? Do music whenever you want, because it's your music. We don't set up rules around other music. We're not like, you can listen to country music if you're near a tractor. Like, you should listen to it whenever you want. You should do whatever you want with your music. But for some reason, with Christmas music, and I mean, it makes sense because Christmas music is bizarre. Like, they sing weird things where they just One of my favorites, Burl Ives sings Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. And Burl Ives has that grandpa voice where he comes in and goes, Have a holly jolly Christmas. And you go, oh, thank you, Grandpa. It's the best time of the year. And then, ho, ho, there's mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you. Ooh. And he goes, kiss her once for me. You go, oh, that's nice. I've kissed under mistletoe, but I've never kissed under mistletoe and had someone say, and that one, it's from my grandpa. Gave you a big, good kiss. Are you ready for this? Weirdest kiss. Why would you do that? In the meadow we can build a snowman. We'll pretend that he is Parson Brown. That's a weird childhood. Why did you do that? Why did you not stop at just having a snowman? You made a snowman and then you were like, we're not done yet. We need to give him ecclesiastical authority. And the snowman plays the part. He immediately starts razzing him, where he's like, okay, I've just been made. Are you guys married? Are you married? I see you together, and I just think you need to be married. And you can hear the kids just be like, frankly, you know what? We're kids. I don't know if we're ready. We just made a snowman, and we screwed up. We didn't mean to make you a preacher, and here you are. And I wish you were just snow again. What's wrong with you? I like to sing I'll Be Home for Christmas. Do you guys like that one? I think that one's beautiful, where they sing that so passionately. I'll be home for Christmas. And you go, that's good. You can count on me. And you start to be like, oh, okay. We'll write it on the calendar. Steve will be home. That's fantastic. And then they just start making other demands. Please have snow. Oh, okay. I don't know if you know how weather works. We're in California. It doesn't snow often in LA. And mistletoe. Okay, we'll have mistletoe. Just to be clear, it's just family this Christmas. And you're still single. I don't know who you're gonna kiss. Grandpa's been requesting it. You can give him a kiss from him. Put the presents on the tree. We'll put them on the tree. We usually go under, but for you, we'll put them on. Seems weird, and then it's gonna fall, but I'll be home for Christmas. If only in my dreams. Wait, what's that mean? Are you not coming? We rent the snowblower. You should let us know if you're going to be here. Why would you write a song and not be clear about the last part? It's super important. You like the Beach Boys one? The Beach Boys ones where they go, Merry Christmas, Saint Nick. And then somebody replies. When they say, Merry Christmas, Santa, somebody replies. It's a low voice. And you think, maybe that's Santa. And he says the least that you could say about Christmas. They say, Merry Christmas, Saint Nick. And then he replies, Christmas comes this time each year. Yeah, technically you're correct. Are you depressed? What's going on? Seasonal depression. What do you do when you have that? What you need to do is have a song that wipes all the other songs. Do you have one of those? Because sometimes you get songs stuck in your head. The stupid one that you'll get stuck in your head that you hate it is the one that it was popular, I think it was recorded in the 90s, and it was all the famous music artists of the 90s, and they came together and they said, feed the world, and you go, that's nice, but Here's the thing. I noticed that you guys happen to all be millionaires. And you seem to be being like, look, we know we could take care of this, but we want you to do it. Could the poors do it? Could you guys do that for us? And then they're complaining about things that aren't even issues. They're like, there won't be snow in Africa this Christmas. Yeah, that checks out. What is the problem? Why are you so worried, Bono? Put your glasses back on and shut up. Freaking weirdo. So you have to have a song that like wipes it all, right? If you don't have that, you gotta have a song that wipes every other song out. And that one, you maybe already know it. It's Feliz Navidad. That is a memory wipe. Feliz Navidad. The second you hear it, your brain is like, sing along, and you're like, Prospero, felicidad. I don't speak Spanish. Is that Spanish? What does that even say? I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. You go, oh, thank you very much. It's my favorite song. I use it all year round. If I ever need to not think about anything, I just say, Feliz Navidad. Do you ever do that when you're by yourself? You start practicing speaking? I do that way too often. Like, I'll have an exchange with somebody, and then I think, that was weird. You didn't do that right. You didn't say hello right. Like, it's the stupidest thing. And so then, and you're by yourself, and you start practicing that conversation again. And you replay it, and you're like, I'm gonna get it right now. And you're like, out of nowhere, hello! And people are like, what? And you're like, no, not you. That wasn't for you. I was practicing speaking for another person. I'm not saying hello to you. I just practice sometimes. I don't know if I'm that. Clap if you do that, just so that I can feel safe. A few of you practice speaking. It's a weird thing. I don't know why you do it. I don't know. That I have the stupidest problem speaking to everybody with an accent. Do you have that issue? Whenever you start talking to someone with an accent, this little part of the back of your brain goes, talk like they do. And your frontal logic part is like, no. Don't do that. You just talk like you talk. But the more they talk, the more your brain's like, they sound pretty cool. You should talk like that. And then the front part of your brain's trying to like logic it, and then you're like, no. I don't want to sound like they do. Like, it's impossible. I walked into a store one time and the greeter guy goes, hello, so I said, hello. I had to practice that later. Don't say hello. You don't say hello. You say hello, hi, how are you? I never said hello. What going on, governor? 2 pence? 2 pence for your thoughts? I copied him perfect. When he said hello, I said hello. So he's like, oh, where are you from? Seattle. He's like, whoa. I was like, whoa. I don't know how to get out of it. I'm embarrassed. He's embarrassed. I have to be like, I'm sorry I'm doing that. I don't know why I was doing it. I didn't practice enough. To be fair, you started it. This is your fault. He said to me, I talk like that too. I don't know why I was doing that. I was just... The guy earlier, he said it, and I thought it sounded good. So I was practicing. Why do we do that? Do you know why? I tried to research it, and the internet said the best that I could come up with was mirror neurons. Mirror neurons are just these self-conscious neurons in your brain that are like, you don't have a personality, use theirs. And you're just immediately like, I'll do whatever you do. I'm part of the gang. My other theory is a little bit more far-fetched, but the internet didn't tell me this. But my other theory is that it's because your tongue has a mind of its own. I know that because I have a permanent retainer in my mouth. If you don't know what a permanent retainer is, it's a permanent retainer. It's a little metal bar that Dr. Payton puts in your mouth when you get your braces off. And the second it goes into your mouth, your tongue is just like, did you know this is here? Did you know this is here? Did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? There's a metal bar right here. 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 There's a metal bar. You can't stop touching it to save your life. You'll be like, stop touching that. And your tongue's like, no problem. We'll stop. We'll stop as soon as you tell us. We'll stop as soon as you tell us. And you're like, I'm telling you right now, just stop. And it's like, I can't stop. I love it. It's in your mouth. Why is there a metal bar in your mouth? Why is it here? What's wrong with you? You used to have braces on the other side, but now you have a metal bar. And it's weird. And I've touched it a lot, and I'm bleeding now. I'm bleeding. I've cut myself on it. I've cut myself on it. I've cut myself on it. It hurts when I do this. It hurts if I go like this. I did it again. I can't believe I can't stop. I'm bleeding profusely, and your blood tastes like screws. Something is wrong with you. Whether or not you have a permanent retainer, you've had a tortilla chip. And it's always when you're on a date and you're like, be normal, impress them. You practiced speaking earlier, you can do it. And your tongue is like, there's something that got caught in your gums, and we should get it before they notice. It's gonna be a good, but you're like, you know what, we're not getting it. Can you just wait for floss? We are floss, we will get it. We will get this before anything. If I get it soggy enough, it'll come out. We're gonna sog it out. We're gonna get it with the sog. It's just the stupidest. What's wrong with your tongue? You have no way to control it. Why does our breath taste like screws? Our blood. Anyways. I think it's weird that we say Merry Christmas and Great Britain says Happy Christmas. Does that seem off? Like, we never say Merry. We never say Merry for anything. We're not like, look at them making merry. That feels like something from Great Britain would say. And you're like, they're making merry. And you're like, yeah, that's how you guys talk. And then you go over there for Christmas and they're like, Happy Christmas! And you're like, you messed it up. Why don't you say Merry, you weirdos? Doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Do you know? Is anybody from Great Britain here? Do we say Great Britain? UK. You do? UK, yeah. Thank you. Are you from the UK? No. Wait, you are?
Yeah.
You are? Where in the UK?
London.
London, yeah, the big one. Do you find people copying you sometimes when they talk to you?
Only if I talk to them for like a very long period of time.
Okay, because it takes them a minute to get into your cadence. Yeah. Like after a long time. But you live here now, or did you just come over for the show, or? I know I'm not that famous, but I didn't even plan on this job, if I'm honest with myself. I studied biology in college. I thought, okay, let's have a regular job. I did the whole pre-med thing, thought I'd go to medical school, you know, become like a narcissist or something. That was the goal. How do you end up doing that when you did, like, how do you end up doing this when you did that? Childhood, right? It's always childhood. Childhood makes you a weirdo. And the thing is, my parents, when I was a kid, they would take us to church every Sunday. And I noticed something where they took us to church once a month. They didn't have regular church. Once a month, they had open mic. And this is a joke I only do in Utah, just so you go, what's going on here? That's exactly what you think. If you've never been to an open mic Sunday, let me explain. And some of you are just finding out about this. Like, wait, they have an open mic? Yeah. And it is exactly as you would think it would be. Nobody speaks, they just go, let's just hear from the people. We have fantastically talented, amazing people who could get up to speak, but here's the thing, that is not who you hear from. No. In true open mic fashion, the weirdest person that you've ever seen in your life gets up first. Now is my time to shine! And they get up and they start preaching. I had a dream the other night. Oh, did ya? What did you dream about? Oh, some stuff. It's just the craziest thing that you ever heard. But I'm a kid, you know? You're a kid in church. You don't know. And you're not gonna sit there like, I hope I hear something holy today. No. You're a kid. You're like, come on, weirdos. Let's hear from the weirdos. That would make my life. That would be the best thing in the world if I got to hear from some weirdo. And you always did. The Seattle 15th Ward, that's what they called it. They called it a ward. You know, there's two groups that have held on to that word for a designation of space. One of them is the church, and the other one, you already know the other one. And you don't realize how absolutely insane you sound when you go, are you from my ward? Are you? Am I in this ward? I don't think I'm in this ward. I think I'm in the wrong ward. Oh, I think you are. You got out. How'd you get out? You're not supposed to be in that ward. Let's get you back to your ward. Why is your bathrobe not on? You gotta get to your ward, buddy. Where are you at? You sound crazy. But when I watched Open Mic Sunday, I knew that there was something in my little kid heart watching that show and just being like, they're being so funny into a microphone. I don't know what they're doing, but I want to do that professionally. That's where stand-up comedy started for me. Watching those crazies. I always loved it. It was always my favorite Sunday. I'll be honest, there was 2 years where it wasn't my favorite Sunday, but other than that, I know, I'm doing a lot of inside jokes. I don't mean to do that too much, but this is the place to do it. 2 years was, I was a missionary, and when you're a missionary and you have an open mic, it is terror. It is just, you're just like, anybody who shows up, you're like, why did you show up today? Like, you invited us. And you're like, I told you to come last week. I would never invite you during this circus performance. You're not allowed to see this yet. You have to be like, it's not normally like this. It's not normally like this. It's not usually this weird. It's usually pretty weird, but it's not this weird. You're not ready for that. When you get that, it's the worst. What are we gonna do? He's a good laugher. It's one of those things where you want to be like, all right, it was funny, but come on. But it's good. I need to get that jolly in my life. Are you always a good laugher? You're just a good laugher in life. Oh, I appreciate that. That was the right answer. That's a good guy. What do you do for work? What do you do? You seem very happy though. I mean, just in general.
I fix crash cars. I fix and sell crash cars.
Oh, get out of here! Really? Oh. Okay. Well, I'll get up your number after the show. Somebody hit my car a while back. It's the dumbest. You're a what? Oh, you did, yeah. Oh, where'd you go?
Huh?
Where'd you go on your mission? California? Yeah. California's crazy. Southern? Northern?
Southern.
Okay, yeah. Oh, we're in Southern.
Arcadia, so it is like East LA, up to like Sunland, over to Glendora and Chino.
Oh, okay. I wish I knew more about California. You said all the things that I've heard East LA mentioned in music, you know. Somebody was born there. That's cool. Was it Spanish?
Both, English and Spanish.
Oh, both? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's where, so I went to Canada, and I was that way. I was both English and French. And it was interesting to meet people, like, we had a guy from London, and I had never heard French with a London accent. It was so interesting. This guy goes, "Bonjour, comment ça va aujourd'hui?" And you're like, what? How did that just happen? We had another guy, he was from Vermont. No, Rhode Island. And he had a very, I'm from Rhode Island. Like, he was like almost comically that. And he also would speak French, and he'd be like, okay, bonjour, you know. Nous sommes les missionnaires, you know. We're missionaries, is what I would say. And the French people would just look at us like, what the, and I don't know. It's weird, man, I don't know what to tell you. He didn't even practice. That's how he talks. It was a weird, okay, I'm gonna tell you one more story that I don't usually do on stage, but this is a weird story, because when you're a missionary, you know, people talk to you, and it's not normal people who come and talk to you. It's the weirdest people. It's like every day is just open mic for your life. Because normal people would never be like, oh, look at those guys, I'm gonna go talk to them. Like, a normal person would be like, okay, here we go. I'm gonna talk to those guys, they are weird. And they are, I mean, they're weird, but so weird attracts weird, and we had one guy who trapped us one time, and he's like, you boys don't know anything about the rapture. And I was like, I don't. I'm gonna teach you about the rapture. And he taught us about the rapture, where in the end of the world, the righteous will be caught up and just disappear into heaven. They'll be gone. But it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be the end of the world. There'll be wars, there'll be like storms and everything. So this is what's crazy. That same week, a tornado hit where we lived. And we were up on like the 16th floor of an apartment building. Our apartment building was shaking in the wind. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. I wake up because it's like a strobe light. There's so much lightning. And the curtains are just like this, because it was summer, so the curtains were open, but it's just like blowing, and I'm getting hit in the face with water. And my bed was the far one from the window. They say companion. Partner doesn't fix it either, so. My other guy, you're with another guy always. And my other guy is gone. I just see the curtains like this, I'm getting hit in the face with water, strobe light lightning, and he's gone. I was like, Elder? Hey, Elder Smith? Where are you? Where is he? And my head's like, he was raptured. And I'm freaking out. Oh, you know why you're here still. Why are you the way you are? I can't. And I'm freaking out. I'm like running around the apartment. I'm like, Elder Smith! And finally he's like, yeah, I'm just shutting the windows. Oh yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I was gonna go help you. Yeah, good job at shutting the windows. That's what you would do. You're responsible. I'll go back to bed. Weirdest moment. What are you doing? I slept pretty good. I slept pretty good all the other times on my mission. I think I've stopped sleeping very well more recently in my life. I don't sleep that great, which is the worst, because when you can't sleep, you just have to go to the internet and you start typing in and you're like, how do you sleep? And the internet will be like, let me ask you a few things. Are you on your phone right before bed? Maybe. Next question. And the next question is like, is it where you're sleeping? Is it quiet? Is it dark? Is it an actual bed? You're not on the couch, and you realize that sleep is just a stupid fake it till you make it situation. Like, these are all the things I already knew sleep to be, so I'm just lying down in my bed under the covers being like, this is what sleep looks like. Do it, I'm ready. Sleep. Nothing happens, so you just are kind of like, what's wrong? What's wrong with me? And then that's when the internet is going to start advertising to you, because they have you trapped. They're like, all right, you can't sleep, buy some stuff. And so it goes, how heavy are your blankets? And you go, they're blanket weight. And it's like, that's the problem. You need heavy blankets. You need a weighted blanket. And I immediately knew I needed one. The second I saw the word weighted blanket, I didn't even know that was a thing. But once I heard it, I was like, yeah, I want a weighted blanket. Of course I want a weighted blanket. And so I went, and the internet said, okay, just buy this 15-pound weighted blanket. And so I had it shipped to me, and I put the 15-pound weighted blanket on my body, and I immediately decided, you need more. Once I got a taste of it, I was like, it's not heavy enough. I need a heavier blanket. So I went back to the internet, 20, 25, 30, all sold out. So about a 35-pound weighted blanket. I was like immediately ready for the hard stuff. It was like, I put the 35-pound on my body, I put the 15 on top of that one. I was like, I don't want to count sheep, I just want the weight of a sheep on my body. I found out weighted blankets are for go-getters, they're not for lazy people. I'm a lazy people. I'm not ready to wake up in the morning and immediately lift weights. I wake up and I'm like, I'm staying in bed till noon, that was too much. I'm ready for that. It's getting to the point where I'm talking to people after shows and I'm like, do you want to come over to my place after the show? And they're like, whoa, forward. I'm like, it's not what you think. I just need a spotter in the morning. Let me lift the weights. The weirdest sleep behavior we all have is that every once in a while you pretend to be asleep. Yeah, you've all done that, you weird little actors. You decide in such a short amount of time. Someone comes into the room and you make a decision in about 1 second. Do I want to talk to them? No. And you pretend. And you just sit there with your eyes shut, like, just believe this. Don't talk to me. Just, and you, how do you fake it? You're like, me. Like, you just, you sell it, you give them a twitch. Oh, that was a sleep twitch. That's real. That's the real deal when you twitch. The weirdest time I pretended to be asleep was when I was at the Chicago airport. They canceled all the flights. It was a storm, and so we had to stay the night in the airport. And I thought that when the vacuums come out at 1 a.m., that you would skip where the bodies are. Like if you go down a row, you'd be like, let's just not do that row. But it turns out they vacuum right next to your head, and you have to pretend to be asleep. When a 1970s metal vacuum goes, and you're like, I'm asleep. That was a sleep twitch. I'm not afraid of the vacuum. It's the scariest moment of my life. I don't love traveling. I love traveling. I don't love the airport. I don't know that, I mostly don't love security at the airport. Like I do everything to make that go fast. I buy all the things. I buy the Clear, I buy the Global, Welcome Back to the United States, I buy the Please Don't Touch My Crotch, I buy that one. But sometimes if you switch airlines and you don't remember to put your Please Don't Touch My Crotch number in, they're gonna be like, we get to do it. And you're like, no, I'm part of the gang. I paid $85. You don't get to touch my crotch for 5 years. And they're like, well, you forgot to put your number in. And you're like, but and then you go through the machine and it does the little wand thing. And there's a little printout. Well, it's on a screen. It's not a printout. It's just a screen that shows your body, and then it highlights where they're about to touch you. And it's public. It's for everyone to see. It's for everyone to be like, look where he's about to get touched. And you get that little moment where I always look back on the screen. You shouldn't do it. You should just confidently stare straight ahead and let it be a surprise. But I'm always like, where are they gonna touch me? And it's always your crotch. And you start to be like, oh no, don't do it. And they say, look, it's not weird. Are you uncomfortable? Would you like us to touch you in private? They'll say that. Do you want us to touch you in private? And at first you're like, maybe. And then you say it to yourself in your mind, you practice it, and you go, public, touch me in public, oh my gosh. Don't you dare touch me in private. Touch me in public in front of everybody. I want everyone to see what you're doing. And they, again, reassure you. They go, look, it's not going to be weird. I'm going to touch you with a glove on, with a little latex glove, and I'm going to use the back side of my hand. And you feel like telling them, can I just tell you, from my hand, it still feels like you're touching my crotch. Just so you know. I can't tell a difference. Matter of fact, if you want to switch around, I wouldn't even know. Just do whatever I gotta do. So they put the gloves on their hands, and then they touch and they press and slide, and that's the part where you make eye contact with a stranger. Is when some stranger's gloved blue hand is on your crotch, and you go, ha! And they're looking at you, and they look at you like, I don't know what's going on. And you share the weirdest smile that you've ever, you're like, like, are you okay? Not really, no. I don't feel that good about this scenario. But here we are, getting touched. What do? You just have to go eat afterwards. Get through the whole scenario. I was recently in I did a big lifetime trip. I did to Everest Base Camp, which it turns out when you take that trip, everybody thinks you're doing Everest, and you can let them assume. Like, some of my friends are just finding out now that I didn't do Everest. I thought I did Everest. Well, I just went to where you start. I was like, this seems good. All right. Have fun up there. There's bodies up there, you know. Keep your finger. But on my flight home, I went through Bangladesh. And Bangladesh, I found out personal space, not a big deal. They don't like it. And so when we were boarding the plane, I had a man who had a pretty big belly, and he started encouraging me with his belly. We're all in single file line, and it's backed up. I'm as close as I want to be to the person in front of me. I was like, I'm not getting close to that person. There's a thing that we do over here where we give a little space. We give a little bit of space, and he hated that. And so he bumped me with his belly over and over. And I remember just the first time I was like, whoa. What's that? And it's one of those scenarios where you like don't want to look back because you're like, what just happened? Oh, that was a mistake. There's no way they would do it 3 times. Oh, they're doing this on purpose. This is happening. Oh, this is still going on. And you're like, maybe if I look at them, they'll stop. And you look at them and you make eye contact with a man who then bumps. That's weird eye contact. When you get belly bumped and you're looking into the eyes of a belly bumper and you just feel your body go, well, you don't know what to do. It's the weirdest. I shared a smile again, and that was wrong. I think that sent the wrong message. Because to me, I was just like, well, now this is funny. He went bump, and I went, and he took a minute to bump again. So maybe that was a good move. It was like, whoa, he's liking this. But he started again. He started doing the bump again. And eventually, an older woman started coming up the aisle, and she makes eye contact with me, and she's like, I gotta go. And I turned around to the belly bumper, and I said, enough! And I felt embarrassed, because I hadn't spoken the whole time. And I don't even know that he speaks English, but I decided, enough! And he looked at me like, what? And I was like, don't bump me. And it was just like, it was the weirdest moment. And then we let the lady go by, and then we bumped our way back to it's like, what in the world? I've heard London is very good at standing in line. Is that true, London? Queues? You guys call them queues. All right. I'm gonna assume you said yes. Maybe you did, I just didn't hear you. I have bad hearing, I guess. I did a sound bath. Did I tell you that? Jill, my friend Jill here does sound baths. Do you guys know what a sound bath is? Have you ever heard of a sound bath? Some of you? Yeah. Oh yeah, you've gone? If you have never gone, let me take you guys to a sound bath real quick. Jill does this very professionally. So sometimes they sit down and they'll say like namaste, and you say that back, even though you go, I don't know what I mean. And then they go and they have like a gong or something, and and they start off, and then they have these little singing bowls, they call them, and they go. And you're like, are you relaxed yet? Do you feel good? And you're like, I guess, I don't know. And you're lying down on the ground and your eyes are shut, and then they come around with a drum and they just go. above your crotch. Always above your crotch. His chakra of his crotch is off. And you go, is this why the TSA is always touching down there? It's the crotch chakra. Sacral. Sacred, or whatever. I was right? Sacral crotch chakra. And they go, how was that? And you go, that was great. I'm a new man. I go and I get those done. I don't know why. Who? Some of you do it. You've done it. You have Birkenstocks. No doubt you do it. You knew I saw those. You were thinking about it the whole time, like, I'm wearing Birkenstocks and I'm on the front row. I should keep it a secret. Yeah. Have you done it many times? Did you go to jail? Oh, she's great. Yes. Yeah. Do you guys all go? Are you guys all go? That's fantastic. I don't think he goes. Yeah. He does it. That's okay. That's cool. You still hang with the normal. Yeah. Have you thought about it? Yeah. And you said nothing. It's fun. She does massage as well, and that's one of my favorite things I've done is massage by Jill because. Because I trust her. The other people, here's the thing. My intro to massage wasn't from a massage therapist. It was just the creepy guy at the office. You know the guy who comes up behind you and just starts rubbing your shoulders? And he'll always say something like, ooh, you're tense. And you're like, I guess I get that way when strangers grab me. Look at you. So strong with your hands. It's always such a weird feeling to just be touched. And I didn't know the terminology. In fact, the first person I went to wasn't Jill. I went to somebody, I didn't even know who the person was. It was like, I don't think I want to know them. That makes sense, you know. Just let it be a stranger and have them touch you. And so then I went in and I said, I'm here for my masseuse, and they're like, massage therapist, you got that wrong. You're already dumb. And all right, and I didn't know that. I didn't know the terminology. I was like, what am I called? I'm there to get a massage. And so I'm obviously a misogynist, and I'm dumb and I'm a misogynist. I wish that they were called masseuse. In my head, my masseuse would have gotten continuing education and got their doctorate in masseusery, you know? And they would be like, could you get up on this table? Because they would be Dr. Masseuse. You got your doctorate in masseusery, you're Dr. Masseuse. I can massage you in a box with a fox and some socks, and you're like, yeah. I would love that. I'll massage you here or there, I'll massage you anywhere. Relaxation for you is key, but first, you must undress for me. I'll rub you here, I'll rub you there. First, take off that underwear. Dr. Masseuse. They say that so casually. Just get undressed, I'll be right back. And they leave. And then they're gone for too long. It's just enough time to start doubting what you've heard. You're sitting naked, alone in a room in Taylorsville. What are you doing? Why are you naked? You shouldn't be naked. You're not supposed to be naked. You're just panicking. Like, what are you? What have I done wrong? I gotta get out of here. I should put my clothes on. I put my socks on. I'm not naked anymore. That's good. Put my belt on. I'm ready. I don't know. I'm panicking. I don't know how to wait on this weird table. Looks like it has a toilet lid at one end. Tiny toilet just waiting there. She comes back in the room. That hole is for your face. Well, you should have said. I don't know what to... Why do you have a tiny toilet here? She said, we're gonna have to change that paper. Okay. That's fair. Yeah, change the paper. Put new paper on it. I put my face down in the toilet lid thing. She says, what pressure level do you like? 15 PSI. I have no idea what pressure level. I said, medium. Touch me medium, please. It's how I like salsa, maybe it's how I like massages. She starts touching me medium, and I immediately said, mild, touch me mild. That was a very spicy medium. I need it muy less picante, please. The whole massage went like that. I'll take a drink. Hang on. I accidentally chewed the ice. You guys do that? Chew the ice? You're normal. You don't chew ice. Do you chew the ice? Yeah. They say it's like you have you heard what they said? Yeah, it's sexual. That's what they always say. Don't you love that when you're like chew the ice? You're like, I just like pebble ice. And they're like, yeah, because you don't have enough sex. You're like, what? Why do you have to make it weird? Freaking freak. I'm just chewing ice. You're over here being like, you know what that's about? You're like, I think you got the problem, sir. Like, it's like, you ever have that friend when you're listening to music and they're always like, do you know what this song's really about? And you're like, just let me enjoy it. Just quit ruining my childhood. I didn't know Like a Virgin was about sex. That's crazy. I thought it was about renting music or, I don't know. That was a weird attempt. Here's the problem. When I get a massage, the problem is I'm ticklish. And I'm not able to just say that. I've never been able to say that. Like, you can't just comfortably admit, like, guys, I'm ticklish. And say that out loud and not have some weirdo start reaching for your most vulnerable places. Right? I'm ticklish. Really? Where? And they start going for your armpits, for your feet. You're like, why are you doing this? Don't touch me. I just told you. And they're like, I just wanted to see if you were telling the truth. So I didn't keep it, I kept it a secret. I didn't tell her. I just gripped the table and bit into the toilet lid. Like, I'm getting through this. But eventually I'm sweating. I can't handle it. And she's like, what's wrong? I was like, nothing. Stop touching me. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll stop. What would you like to do? We have 15 minutes left. Should we just... Very gently, and I said, just very gently, don't touch me. Just rub all around my body. Would you do that? Would you just rub my aura while you and me listen to Enya together? Just that. Who can say where the road goes? Do you guys know the Enya song? Yeah. You guys even knew the lyrics. Do you know what it's called? The name of that song? You know the lyrics though. Only in Time, yeah. That's pretty good. Most people don't know the lyrics because, well, why would you know the lyrics? I guess if you go to a massage salon, maybe. I had one kid tell me he knew the lyrics, and he taught me. He even sang it into the microphone. He was like, he didn't even hesitate. He was like, I'll sing it for you. I was like, please do. And so he's saying, who can say where the road goes, whether it knows only in time. I was like, that's it, how did you know that? And he said, my mom is a massage therapist. And that made sense to me. I always love how much we use music. Like, in every weird spot of life, we're like, let's have music. Like, when we leave the show tonight, we're gonna play music. And when we're doing the show before, we play music. We do all this always. I have friends that were like, we wanna have music at our first baby's birth. They wanted to have a playlist. Has anybody ever done that? Do any of you have a birthing playlist? Sometimes I have people in the crowd who've put together one. Nobody tonight, that's all right. You guys did, yeah? Do you remember what was on it? Like soft music. Lizzo? I put my hand on, like that's, I like that. Check my nails. That's pretty good. That's a good birthing, like, makes you feel like relaxed, but also maybe a little bit like, this is going on. It's weird, it's hard to choose the right songs. I mean, obviously there's a couple that have to make it onto the birthing playlist. Like, you are required to have Salt and Pepper on there. Did you have that? Push it, like that's, push it real good. That should be on your birthing playlist. You should also have The Lion King on there for the right moment. Once it's bah, you know, you need to have that moment. But what else? What else? And here's the thing, you don't know how long you're gonna be in labor, you don't know all the things. So if you wanna have music at your birth, don't do that. Don't do the playlist, hire a DJ. DJ will do it right. You get in the birthing suite and in the corner is DJ Dula, just like, who's ready to have a baby today? Throw your legs in the air. You're scratching records, or he's scratching records, he's doing the bars, like, that's it right there. Got another contraction, I wanna hear you scream. It's like an EDM concert. You don't know when the bass is gonna drop. You don't know when the baby's gonna be born, right? That build of like, here we go, baby, in 3, 2, 1. No, baby, what's wrong, DJ? Baby, 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 oh, baby, 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 no. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, baby, no baby, what's wrong? Doctor's like, the baby's breech. DJ, turn around. But it's a healthy situation, so turn around. Baby, turn around, maybe, maybe not. What do? You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby. Still hasn't moved. The doctor's freaking out. He's like, this breech has to move. What do, DJ? Move, breech, get out the way, get out the way. You do whatever works. What, do you guys have a song? Did you have a suggestion? I love suggestions. Would you do that? Do you guys have kids? What's the one?
Get out of my way!
That's the one I did. I like that one. That was a good one. Do you know who sings that? Yeah, well, you got it. Ludacris. Nice. I did that joke on a cruise ship, and that was a mistake. They don't know Ludacris. They don't know Luda. Because they are. All right. Hey, we got one more minute. We'll do, darn it. I have one more kind of long joke. I'll do the short version of this joke. I'll do the long version. Thank you. That's very supportive. This is a story joke. I do this joke most shows. It's when I was 15. My dad used to take me once a month to go and visit hoarders in their home. And some of you know what I'm talking about because we're in Utah, and you can figure out what that is. If you don't know what that is, once a month you'll do this little at-home visit to people in the church, and you'll be like, "How you guys doing?" But we were assigned to visit the hoarders, and that's an interesting group to visit. Because you have to play some games when you do that. You have to play, how long can I hold my breath? And other exciting games like, what is a chair? It's a classic. They love to play what is a chair, and you are always just like, what is it? Everything looks like a bed sheet covering what are stacks of dead flat cats. There's no way they know how to stack flat cats. I don't trust. Like, I would go head to tail, right? A skull every other side. That would be stable. They probably went all tail. It'll slide right off. That's not safe. You gotta know how to stack flat cats. My dad didn't even hesitate. He would go right in and he would sit down. And I would be like, the cats! But he was very good at what is a chair. He would sit down and it was stable, and he was like, Steve, don't worry about it. You don't have to find a seat. You could just sit on my knee. And I was like, I don't think I need to do that. And he's like, get on over here. You're being weird. Come on. Don't be shy. Sit on your dad's lap. And I hated it. I was like, I can't believe this. And he could tell that I was grumpy about it, so he bounced me just a little bit. Just a little bouncy. I was like, Dad, I'm not a baby. And he patted me on my back, and I burped, and I felt better. Then a cat that's not yet flat, he's alive, and he starts wandering towards us. And he hopped up on my dad's other knee. He was like, you guys are friends? He took the last seat in the house. And he vomited right then on my dad's knee. It was like, the cat was like, where should I barf? On these two. And he just barfed, and that was a weird moment because I felt relief. I felt like, we've been barfed on, we can leave. That's not what happened, because when we got barfed on, the hoarders, they go, oh, sorry, that happens. To which I'm like, no, it doesn't. This is the first time I've been on my dad's lap and a cat has vomited. This never happens. And we're like, that's fine, you'll be fine. And my dad tries to talk to these nice people. He's like, well, we came and we wanted to share a little message with you guys. And he starts doing that. I already know what's happening, right? He's not gonna get through that. It's not good because he smells his knee. And I'm sensitive to bad smells as well. I remember being a little kid and being sensitive enough to where sometimes people would be talking to me and I was like, oh my gosh, their breath. If they breathe out when I breathe in, I'm gonna die. You panic. I don't want to breathe their breath. What do I do? How do I not breathe their... Blow out softly when I'm talking to you. You ever do that? Someone's like, hey, how's it going? Pretty good. Beautiful day today. Sure is. Sun is shining. Breeze is blowing. You blowing on my face? No, I never do that. I feel a little breeze every time I say something. That's weird. That's on you. Why are you doing that? I would never. Okay, I was doing that. Your breath smells like flat cats. Something's wrong with you. So my dad's doing that, this like, I'm fine with hearing that. You can hear that as an audience, and you're fine. You hear, and that's fine. He's okay. But it changes, right? It goes from the Do you hear the direction switch? When you go, that's fine. Oh, and you go, whoa, what happened? Why are you doing that? And once you hear the, you can't, it's not good, because that is the son of, and that's how my dad full on goes, and you can't hear that too long as an audience. Once you hear, you go, mirror neurons get turned on in your brain. You go, why did he make that sound? If he makes that sound, I have to make that sound. Don't you dare make that sound again. If you make that sound again, I'm gonna have to make that sound, and I don't wanna hear it. I don't wanna hear that. I have a theory on why that is. A long time ago, our ancestors were eating mastodon, and it was not cooked all the way. The first guy was like, this is bad mastodon. And he was like, he did the thing. And then the second guy, he ate the whole thing. He was like, I love it raw, that's my favorite. And the third guy, here's the thing, when the first guy went and he stopped eating. And he was like, this is bad mastodon. And he gagged as well. Second guy died. It was bad mastodon. He did not survive it, and so the gene for sympathetic gag reflex gene got passed on from the first and third guy, and now anytime anybody goes, we all go, for the tribe, and we bark. And we survive. So that's how we have survived up until now, but at that point, my dad is I'm on his knee, and he just kind of is still bouncing me, and I'm like, you gotta stop. You can't. Yeah, I don't feel good. If you don't stop bouncing me, I'm gonna like. So he stops bouncing me, and he starts elbowing me. That means, hey, say the thing that you say at the end. At the end, you always say, hey, is there anything we can do to help you? Right? You say it at the end, never at the beginning, right? Because if you said that at the beginning, you would end up helping them. It's not what you're there for. You're there to annoy them. And so, here's me say it. I'm a 15-year-old with no skill set. I was like, is there anything I can do to help you? Do you need any Nintendo codes? And they said, no, we're good. So we barfed and we got out of there. I'm gonna get out of here as well. You've been fantastic.